and uploaded their first video to YouTube, the world was a completely different place than today. I mean, Instagram
not the
didn't
video's too
exist,
loud.
Minecraft hadn't officially released, and Drake was yet to drop his debut album.
Oh hey, what's up? It's FaZe Temper.
For over 15 years, FaZe Clan has constantly sat at the top of the internet's food chain like some sort of unkillable giant.
FaZe Clan.
Bro, FaZe was on a crazy
I guess
run.
the saying is true. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That same night, boom, cooked.
Over the course of just 72 hours, every member left the org.
I officially left. 72 hours of
15-year
org fell
dynasty
apart
ended.
FaZe Clan
completely.
ended. It's gone.
And down went Goliath.
How does that happen?
I'm not sure, brother.
How do you kill the unkillable? Is it money?
Where's the money? Where is it?
Is it greed?
If you think about it, money
How
ruins a
does
lot
the
of
biggest
things in
org
life.
in the world
A lot.
get
Friendships,
replaced by a talent agency?
family ships, I don't know. Look, a lot. It's a lot.
When it comes to FaZe Clan, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, you're talking about 15 years of problems building up until its final death. So before we really dive into the good stuff, we need to get everybody on the same page, at least on the important stuff. But don't worry, we're gonna speedrun it. Ready? On a macro level, you have two eras of FaZe. There's OG FaZe and there's new FaZe. When it comes to OG FaZe, there's four names
That's
that
so
matter
funny.
the most.
He said it
Apex,
doesn't exist
Temper,
anymore.
Brain, and
So,
Banks. They're the founding fathers. They
didn't-
took FaZe from a clan tag
Damn.
Call of Duty lobbies to one of the
I mean, it's
biggest
not
on the
lying though.
internet.
Like that shit was done.
Together, they built one of the earliest.
You don't gotta
programs for
leave
social
something that's
media,
not there no
pioneering
more.
Things like content houses and paving the way for the next generation of creators.
Who are my favorite My
OG
favorite FaZe
reached the
members
heights
are
that it
probably
did because of how genuine it was. When they first
FaZe
started this
Sway,
whole
FaZe
thing,
Jeff,
being an influencer wasn't even a thing. And
Apex.
neither was the money that came
Wait,
with
was it
it.
Apex?
But as the
Adapt.
internet changed,
I really do mess
OG
with
FaZe
Adapt.
died alongside it. As social media became a business,
Rain.
the
I
crippling
fuck with
downfall
Rain
that
heavy,
started.
especially during the COD days.
This guy got introduced by somebody that everyone
And
really
Rook. I mess
trusted.
with
The
Rook.
founders
There's a
brought
couple
someone
people I'm
in to help
missing
them
out.
grow as an actual
Dev,
company.
Tough, Autumn.
Came in and immediately started dividing homes.
There's a
That
couple people I do
original
not
CEO
like. Though,
brought in
I will
more
say.
people, brought in investors until eventually it was too late.
I literally heard with my own ears, people that got hired within a month or two saying we don't need the founders.
The founders
Oh, yeah.
were essentially
I
stripped
keep
out of their
forgetting the
company, and
Silky,
friendship that
Max,
FaZe was
Autumn. The
built
new
on
FaZe was
shattered
great. I
because
loved
the
Autumn.
corporate leaders took FaZe
I loved
public,
Autumn.
and it started out hot with the $1 billion valuation.
And
Every single one.
But
It
within
was
a
all
year,
tough.
the stock plummeted. The company was on the verge of being delisted, and bankruptcy was right around the corner. While that sounds horrible, it was actually the best case scenario for FaZe. This was the brand's second chance. The company was run into the ground because the people running it didn't understand it. This rock bottom was the birth of new FaZe.
I feel like they
To fix
should
the
have
problems
kept this to
behind the crash,
themselves
a
though,
company
bro. Y'all
called
built
GameSquare
something
acquired FaZe and put the people who
generational.
knew
Y'all
it
should have
best
just
back into leadership roles.
stick
The
with it.
founders
Like
were back driving the ship.
Because we're taking this back.
Yeah.
And we're running it.
it should have never
up,
got to this point.
And your boys got plans.
For the past
I feel like if you made something like how FaZe was, you should never trade that up for no business, bro. I feel like you already making money.
Or at least
You already doing the things you need to do
because
with
we've
it.
now, for the second
You
time,
should just
seen
keep that to
FaZe Clan
yourselves, bro.
crash
'Cause
and
that
burn.
was
Except this time,
your
I
old
don't really
FaZe
think
was
it's
something
getting back up.
special. There were two. Yeah, that's
It's
facts.
sad, bro. Cause this
That's
really
facts.
did mean something to me, bro.
They did
So
need probably
how
some
does that
business hope because there's
How do you
probably
get a second chance? do
sponsors.
everything
Yeah, you
right,
gotta
and
remember
still
that
end
shit.
up
Yeah,
here?
you're right.
Well, what I've come to realize is that the revival of FaZe didn't play out quite how it was marketed. And to best explain it, we've got to start back at the blank slate, just a few months before the GameSquare acquisition.
They thought they were getting
This
help,
puppy
yeah.
is
I mean, with
crashing
business, you gotta
harder than
remember,
DB Cooper
people
when he
gonna always
jumped out
act
of
like they're
that
gonna help you
airplane
before they
with
fuck you up. That's just how business gonna
95.8%
operate. That's just how that shit's gonna work.
It is disastrous.
So early 2023,
Yeah,
FaZe's
right.
stock is in a freefall. Mass layoffs are happening left and right, and all of the FaZe members are publicly trashing the leadership.
It's such a privilege to be in FaZe, right?
It's a mess. The board finally realizes it's over. They're bleeding money, they've got no plan to turn it
Damn.
around, and no investment bank wants to touch them.
756.
So they do the
I hope
only
that's
thing
just a
left.
random
They start
number.
shopping
That
the
right
company
there is
around.
wild.
Basically looking for someone willing to make FaZe their problem.
I don't know how long it was until the GameSquare stuff started, but I think for the first time in a long time, us four founders kind of were talking, actively.
So at that time, I sure remember even Banks posting a picture of us four saying up to something. And it was like us four outside of like a mirror. There was like an elevator.
Nothing's in stone yet. We're still figuring things out, but I pray and I hope that things do. And I just genuinely believe they are. Even if things go south, as long as we're unified and we're all on the same side, I think in the end of the day, we'll win. I just genuinely do. I don't know what it is. It's just something's telling me, my soul's telling me everything's going to work out. I believe it.
After we met as a group of
That'd be
four
rain,
for all
man.
these months trying to figure out what to do next, decisions were made, things happened, and then really, you know, Banks took the reins, and then it was kind of like just a big show at that point. And I'm not necessarily saying that in a good or bad way. I'm just saying that's what happened.
The founders got together and came up with a plan to take FaZe back. They worked together to write a term sheet and pitched it to the board. Ultimately, the board said no, and the conversation shifted to an offer from GameSquare.
And I blessed GameSquare coming in and buying it because Kenna came to me before there was any purchase made. And said the only way that we're gonna do this is if you're the guy who's gonna run it.
On paper, the deal looked simple enough.
So they was basically friends with Banks, would it sound like?
$14 million in an all-stock transaction.
If they so obsessed with him running it, they gotta have some type of ties to him.
The board approved it. 3 founders signed it. 1 didn't. Now, building a business on social media is harder than most people think. I mean, growing a following is one thing, but actually making money from it is a totally different beast. That's where WAP comes in.
WAP is an internet market designed to run every part of your online business.
You can sell a course, send invoices, launch a private community, or even offer coaching all in one place. What makes WAP stand out is how seamlessly everything runs. No stitching together a bunch of different tools, no clunky checkout on the internet like a business. Videos
Streamers, the new guys?
Like corporate coming back in. And FaZe being
corporate coming back in a $1,000,000% against the corporate shit. The new guys I was not against.
Once the acquisition was announced, the PR-loaded articles started rolling out. Apex, Temper, and Banks working together to revive the brand.
They gave us a chance to revive the brand again, like 100,000%.
This is gonna be a movie, and I plan to make everybody who thought they caught a bag and caught a lick on your boy look like a retard and feel dumb.
Behind the scenes, GameSquare made a move that would change everything. They took
allegedly
and split it
he
in two.
scammed
Esports
niggas with a
and social
crypto
media.
coin.
For years, those ran under one roof.
Allegedly.
Now they
I
were
don't
separate
know.
entities. Esports stayed under the original legal structure,
I
but
ain't
the
finna
content
throw no
side, the
allegations at
streamers,
nobody.
the houses, the whole culture of FaZe fell under a brand new company called FaZe Media. When does Matt Kalish come into the picture?
Literally, I don't know. They are both from Lowell, Massachusetts. They met somehow. They bonded over crypto coins. Next thing I know, he's investing $11 million into FaZe Media.
Days after the acquisition finalized, GameSquare sold 49% of FaZe Media to Matt Kalish, the co-founder of DraftKings, for $11 million.
That whole structure of how that went down, I was not informed. I was in the picture.
They talk about that like it's falling off
I
a
was
tree
in
somewhere.
the picture. But did I know anything about that article or the detail that was happening? No, not at all.
By late April, the revival began rolling out. FaZe wiped most of their roster clean, leaving just a handful of OGs. Then they announced the new roster, a group of streamers that weren't as well known online.
Richard, hey, let's have a chat.
Weren't as well known. I wouldn't say that, bro.
I think you also dropped the ball.
No face cam rage. I'm pretty sure it's averaging like
but Banks had a
20,
vision and he
bro.
was sticking to it.
I can't apologize for doing what feels right. I can't apologize for wanting this to be fun again. I can't
And Max,
apologize
in his
for
mom's
trying
house,
to do
his
right
parents'
by
house,
the
yo, he
brand.
was
If it was
averaging
the right
decent.
decision to step away or get out of the way,
Especially
I would
Lacey?
do that in
Nah, I
2
ain't gonna lie.
seconds, 'cause I'm indebted to FaZe Clan. I've seen FaZe be mismanaged and abused, and the life sucked out of it for so long that like all I want to do is I want to see the brand run and win and thrive because it deserves to.
He knew if you take a group of guys, throw them into an environment where everything is carefree, let them have fun, and capture it on camera, it works. It's the same strategy from the FaZe New York house. He was
Actually
just trying to
wanted to be for that
recreate
joint.
that. With that
I
11
knew
million
Mac.
from Matt
I knew
Kalish,
I knew
FaZe
all of
created
them
the
because I
perfect
used to play
environment.
Fortnite
They rented
shit.
an LA mansion,
Max was
paid
the
for
main
content
when I was
ideas,
watching.
hired an entire support staff, removed any stress about money or bills, and just let the streamers make the best content possible. By the end of 2024, it had worked. The
Nah,
new FaZe
the
roster had taken over
evolution
the
of
internet.
Max,
Their
I ain't gonna
clips
lie, it's
flooded
fucking
TikTok.
amazing.
Their streams became some of the biggest on the platform. They all set new peaks, breaking viewership and subscriber records. At the Streamer Awards, FaZe Clan was named the best content org. Banks' vision was proven right.
You guys have heard the story a million times. I guess I can run it through one more time. We got stolen from us, me and my boys. Shout out Tommy, Rain, Apex. Got it back. Did the only thing that there was to really do, which was wipe the slate clean, hit the reset button, give the fresh start. People told us we were dumb. People told me I was ruining FaZe. People asked me, who the is Lacey? Who the is Black Boy Max, Stable Ronaldo? Who the is Silky? I guess now they know.
Nah, Silky was so confused right there.
My worst year turned into my best. I ended up peaking at new levels that I never thought I could hit. You know, I met all my friends here that I like to call family, and I retired my mom this year.
Shit like that, bro, is so amazing.
It's been crazy.
See people help their families out.
Changed my life, obviously. This is fire. This is fire. We going for more awards next year for sure.
But as 2025 came into the picture, things started to shift. And to understand why, we need to talk about money. specifically who owned what and who was left holding the bag. When GameSquare formed FaZe Media, it started as a textbook 51-49 split. GameSquare moved all of FaZe's IP, logos, and trademarks into this new entity and kept 51% control. Matt Kalish invested $11 million.
What they also owned by
that cash went straight into FaZe.
Or is that the guy who owns
funding the
DraftKings?
houses, the staff, the whole revival.
That name just sounds so familiar.
But then in June 2024, a third player entered the game. Banks wanted his piece, so he took out a $9.5 million loan from Matt Kalish, then used it to buy out exactly half of GameSquare's stake, making him a 25.5% owner.
What money does this guy have? Yo, let me hold a couple $100 million for some years, bro.
If Banks has
I'll
been
get it back
involved
to you
in
after
this
like
process
90
since day
years.
one and gave GameSquare the blessing to buy the entirety of FaZe Clan, as he has said, how the did he end up letting them sell an eighth of the business back to him for basically $10 million when they bought the entire thing for 14? Like, why give GameSquare your blessing to then turn around and buy an eighth of the company?
Well, I think the most obvious answer is the correct one here, where it wasn't planned and things just started happening and you took advantage of it as things popped up.
Here's the thing. Unlike Kalish's original $11 million, which went into building FaZe Media, Banks' $9.5 million didn't help the brand at all. So that money went straight to GameSquare's corporate balance sheet. GameSquare got paid.
He got
they were willing
robbed.
to sell because they'd already gotten what they wanted. Listen to the CEO of GameSquare say it himself.
Really, there's two main assets, FaZe Esports and FaZe Media. The FaZe Media side of it was an asset that we helped
Now, when business started getting into shit like this, bro,
public
like
company
true
environment,
business, I'm
our
talking
focus was on
about
FaZe
business where
Esports.
clearly people are getting fucked
Gives us
over,
real
and
reach
that's where
with
shit gets
audience.
bad,
FaZe
bro.
Esports is profitable, it's growing. You know, FaZe Media is still in a bit of
But
a
you gotta
rebuild,
remember, bro,
it's
if you have
burning a bit
billions of
cash,
dollars,
so
you're fucking
The media
somebody.
side, the streamers, the content, was just an add-on they were happy
Anybody's
to offload.
fucking
They got the
anybody over there,
esports
it's
teams they
fucking
actually
fact.
wanted, plus $9.5 million in cash for selling half of something they considered a bonus. But GameSquare got paid twice. In November of 2024, they entered into a $10 million convertible note transaction with Matt Kalish. To translate, Matt Kalish gave them another $10 million in cash to pay off some other random debt, and in return, he could either take shares in GameSquare itself or claim their remaining 25.5% stake in FaZe Media. By April 1st, 2025, the deal closed. GameSquare's remaining equity was transferred to Matt Kalish, making him the single largest shareholder of FaZe Media with 75.5% ownership.
Founder of DraftKings is Matt Kalish, who is on the board at FaZe.
So, to recap, GameSquare bought FaZe Clan for $14 million in stock, then sold half of the company back to Banks and Kalish for $20 million in cash, and still got to keep the part of the company they actually wanted, the esports teams. Meanwhile, Matt Kalish had poured over $30 million into FaZe, and once he got majority ownership, he started trying to recoup that money.
So he basically lost and won it all back.
From day one,
probably
Banks
plus
and
some,
Kalish
of course,
seemed
plus some.
closely aligned.
What's going on, buddy?
Matt, you're on vlog right now.
In August of 2024, Banks said on a podcast that Banks Group owns the majority of FaZe Media.
So FaZe Media is a company that we just set up a couple months back. Banks Group actually owns the majority of it now, 74.5%, I believe is what it is, finally.
And just days after Kalish received GameSquare's 25.5%, Banks tweeted out that he owned 100% of FaZe Media, which I'm pointing out because he's essentially framing the two of them as just one entity, almost like they're inseparable. By May 2025, conversations about restructuring FaZe started happening. At this point, money was flowing one way. FaZe funded talent, covering 6 figures per month in rent, content costs, staff, food, but wasn't seeing anything really come back.
How does the business of FaZe work now? Like, who owns FaZe?
Obviously, we don't own a crazy amount because we're not the ones who put up millions of dollars a month to do the house, $1 million for employees, for content, or whatever.
They'd signed sponsorship deals with G Fuel and 4Loko worth millions,
Bro, that
but
G Fuel shit, I used to
quick when you're bankrolling an entire
I used to
content
fiend
operation.
over that back in like
Leadership started
quarantine.
negotiating a revenue split with talent. Rumors online speculated 80-20. Talent keeps 80% and FaZe takes 20% of everything. Twitch revenue, YouTube ad money, sponsorships, the whole works.
They were supposed to sign a contract where they would be giving up 20% of their income to join FaZe.
I'm gonna be honest, you guys freaking out about 20%? That is not crazy. 20%? That's like a market rate.
Initially, not much came from these early talks. FaZe kept paying rent.
You can't say that. Because if they're talking about 20% after the money is being taxed, like the money they're making is being taxed already, bro, that shit is bad. That's bad.
Covering content costs. Meanwhile, the talent
Taxes
kept
already
growing.
taken, especially they're streaming in Cali. I don't know how they do their taxes.
The guys in FaZe were printing money as
they're
some of the
losing a
biggest
lot.
names on the internet, and FaZe was still paying most of their expenses.
That's a
I live in
lot.
an $80,000 a month house.
Especially
with
being
all of my
told
best
that
friends.
you don't have to
I
worry
get
about
to
anything,
wake
and now you got to
up
take
whenever I
20% out of
I
what
get
you're
to
making.
go live whenever
And you're
I
already
want.
paying
I get
other
to
people,
do
mind you, so
whatever
like-
I want.
for free, and then I get to make
I wouldn't be
100%
funded
of
that
the
fast.
money I make from it. How can I not sit here and be blessed?
Then on June 27th, something interesting happened. A trademark was filed for a talent agency called Hardscope. But the funny thing is, it was filed by FaZe Media. By the end of the summer, two things happened. First, after a series of drama that Banks was constantly at the center of, the talent asked him to step down publicly from his role as CEO. Banks doesn't make content, and the backlash from his actions ultimately fell into the talent's chats. They were the ones left answering for it. So, he stepped down.
FaZe Banks stepped down as CEO of FaZe Clan.
Banks had just recently stepped down as CEO.
There's a lot of being handled in the back end that y'all just don't need to know about.
Second, after negotiations continued to escalate, one member decided to leave FaZe entirely.
Yes, I'm leaving FaZe. Like I just said, I can't fully go into depth why I'm leaving FaZe, but I am leaving.
Blackboy Max said he
put the
wanted to
whole
build
J
something
on,
that he
bro.
actually owned and shared concerns over what control talent actually had.
And person who introduced me tells me, according to my assistant and my creative director at the time, who were sitting in on all calls because they're on my team, tell me I have to fire my manager and get rid of him, or I can't be here.
Which is valid, because if FaZe can make the houses, the furniture, and the staff appear, they can also make it disappear. As negotiations continued, Hardscope was going. The agency started hiring employees, started to make a portfolio piece based on the success of FaZe Clan. By mid-November, logos were being finalized. Long-term FaZe employees were being transitioned to the new agency. It was becoming clear that Hardscope was the future of the business for Matt Kalish. Then he made it his full-time focus. Matt Kalish announced that he was stepping down from his role as the president of DraftKings, a company he co-founded 12 years ago and turned into a
So this guy just sent it off for the money.
I
I'm trying
decided
to
to
see
leave
it.
DraftKings
I'm
and
noticing.
transition out to do this full time to launch Hardscope, which is kind of the platform that FaZe operates on. You know, I felt like it was the right time for me to go all in on that, and I'm really excited to be doing it.
In his announcement post on LinkedIn, he teased what was coming next, a new platform focused on the creator economy. But he closed with something that, in hindsight, sounds a bit eerie. It reads, "While I am keeping the details close to the vest until mid-December, those who know me understand my DraftKings DNA runs deep. In everything we do, we always play to compete fiercely and win." The official launch of Hardscope happened at the Streamer Awards.
Welcome to the 5th annual
WQT,
Streamer
man.
Awards.
I ain't gonna lie, niggas was hating on the Streamer Awards. I feel like they did it.
The same night
They
that
did a
FaZe Clan
decent
hit
job.
a
Good
high.
job.
The same night, multiple FaZe members
The lady with the mic
stapled
could have
their
did better
names
though.
into internet
Going around
history.
spilling the joke, she
The
could have did
same
way
night, FaZe
better.
was crowned the best content org for the second year in a row.
But they was too harsh on her, bro. I can't lie. It was making it seem like she didn't blew some shit up.
Hardscope's launch video ran multiple times throughout the event, broadcasting
They
how
on
they
her every
revived
year,
FaZe
yeah.
Clan
People-
and were now opening their services
people be
to
miserable,
creators and
bro.
brands alike.
They be
That's
miserable.
when conversations ended and ultimatums began. Sign a contract or get out.
You know when this started though? We just won a fucking stream org of the year game. That same night went to hell, chat. We didn't even have time to celebrate. That same night, cooked. GG.
It was genuinely perfect for 2 years, bro. Back-to-back orgs of the year. Like, the guys were crushing it. Everybody was doing their own thing. I just think the infrastructure that was put around FaZe the last 2 years, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it even led to that. Like, things can get so bad that everyone's forced out because of just stupid deals. An org isn't anything without the talent.
The entirety of FaZe, both the streamers
Nah,
who had
that's what
just
happens when
joined
bad
and those
businessmen
who'd been
step
part
up.
of it for over a decade, officially left the org.
Yo, chat, y'all seen the news? Who seen the news?
I don't want to be cliche. I don't want to drag this, but as you can tell by the title, I left FaZe, and it's really something. Like I said,
They
I
should
don't
low-key
be
come
cliche,
up with a
but
new
something I
group.
never really
That
expected
group,
to see.
yo, that group
I
had
officially left FaZe Clan.
You know, I
connection
decided to
with
leave.
We have decided
Dab,
as a group,
Silky,
that
Ron, all them, yo. I ain't gonna lie,
obviously
that
it's in our
shit
best
was.
intention to.
It's like they had some
leave
chemistry
FaZe
on
Clan.
camera. They gotta bring that back.
I have officially left FaZe Clan. It is sad, man. It really, really is sad. Especially
Dab
for
dead,
me,
so I'm about to
man.
cry,
we
bro.
got so close to fixing it, and we just won org of the year.
You could
and
tell that hurt him though.
It's sad, bro. It is. Even now, talking about it, it's sad. 14 years later, that this is how
They're all friends too, but I don't think anybody wants to
it
make
will
a move.
become
Yeah.
to an end.
Especially
yeah.
that, I ain't gonna lie. That FaZe shit,
Here's the thing.
he been doing
I
that
don't
forever.
really think anyone's the
That shit
villain.
low-key probably meant
It's
a lot
hard
to
to
that
blame Matt Kalish for wanting to recoup the $30 million he poured into this thing. And the direction he's taking with Hardscope, it's objectively a more sustainable business model, something they can actually scale in ways a content group never could. As for the talent, if those contracts had been on the table from day one, a lot of them probably would have signed. But you can't expect them to sign now. Not when they're this big. Not when they've seen what happens when someone else controls your brand. Because FaZe proved it. Twice. Social media is a business now. And if you don't own what you build, someone else will decide what happens to it.
This was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life.
I feel like that's what's going on with AMP in a way.
Life to this. I have never made not one.
You can just tell in the way they
$1
stream there's something going on behind the cameras. Like
salary via FaZe.
I feel like business
Not
steps in
selling
the
it,
way of a
not
lot of
buying it,
shit.
raising
A lot of
money.
shit.
Where's the money? I'm this fucking guy who's trying to take everything from everybody. Where is it? Then why the am I millions of dollars in debt?
When it comes to Banks and what he owns, things get pretty blurry fast. And from the surface, it looks like Hardscope falls under FaZe Media.
Or is
which
that a
would
bad
mean
idea,
if Banks still
honestly?
owns
Yeah.
his shares
I
of
mean, it
FaZe
depends.
Media,
If
he'd
y'all like
technically
all
be a part
small
owner of this
creators
new
like
talent
Medium,
agency. You know, the one
and then
that's
y'all
now the
scale
full-time
up, I feel
focus
like y'all
of a
should just
multi-billionaire
disband it,
with a
bro. I feel
proven
like y'all
track
should
record of
leave the
scaling
great
companies
stuff
to
in the
insane
past, bro.
heights.
Like
Banks is
everybody's
tiptoeing
on
around
a
this topic.
good level,
From what
and
I've seen, he's
you have
never
an
publicly
org,
said he sold his
that's
shares.
where it gets terrible.
He's just said that he's not involved in FaZe, but has never spoken a word
Just
of
have
Hardscope.
your friend group.
But all
it's
in
the
all,
same
the
shit,
real
but no-
problem with
yeah,
FaZe
you're
was
right.
never the people.
That
It was always
low-key
the same
is way
impossible
better.
question.
Just a friend group
How
in
do
the
you
same
turn
house.
magic into a business without killing the magic?
I feel like people force the org
FaZe
too much.
Media, Banks, and Kalish still own the IP for FaZe. Can it ever exist again?
You know, while it's in their hands, because they technically own the IP, they could, at this point, you know, Matt Kalish has enough money to just let that die if he wants to, you know, and just like never sell it again. And I don't know, really anything could happen.
Would you want to see FaZe revive, come back from the dead once again, even if that meant that you couldn't be a part of it?
I don't envision that it's going to be attempted to be revived, but maybe I'm wrong. I really don't know.
I think everybody's kind of like just defeated at this point. They've given up. Like they've always had a sliver of hope. Maybe even me, like why I still live in LA. Like why the f do I still live in LA? Like I've been in this apartment for 5 years. I fucking hate it. Why do I live here? Maybe like the whole time I lived here, like I wanted to move, but there was a sliver of hope.
LA
Maybe
sucks. I'm sorry.
something will change
Cali's
in FaZe.
great.
I want to make
Cali's
sure I'm here
great.
for it. I
LA
don't know.
sucks to me.
Maybe that's the
Tell me.
reason.
I think part of me needs to
LA,
just
the
bury
city,
it
I
and
don't
move
live
on
in
with
there,
my
but
life.
around
As
it,
hard
it
as it
low-key
is, like, I always love it. I always wish for the logo and the company to be successful. I just don't know what that would mean if it came back again.
SoCal's
The
amazing.
ultimate downfall of FaZe Clan highlights the fundamental problem with the business
Especially if
model
you're not
behind
from here, though.
content
I don't think
groups.
anybody
We've
would
seen
wanna
it
live
time and again.
Might
They're destined to
probably,
fail. The only group that has truly stood the test of time is the Sidemen. And the reason why is pretty simple. They own the company themselves. Every member has equal shares and voting power. But most importantly, their friendship is priority number one. And that's what makes FaZe Clan's story so tragic. They had that too once, but as the business evolved, it shredded everything that the logo once stood for.
The reason FaZe fell apart is there was no glue in the foundation of our friendship. What makes me sad is like, no way we built something that low-key just changed the internet. It did. And yet we built something so beautiful, yet don't have an unbreakable bond, and it breaks my heart. That
That's what I'm
alone
saying.
tells me that
Now, he
there
put that
was
shit
no
in the
saving
perfect
FaZe, because if
perspective.
the brotherhood wasn't there, FaZe isn't there.
I think as things got bigger, as a lot more people got involved, I think everyone just grew apart and just had different things we focused on outside
That
of
money
FaZe.
got
That's
in the
like
way,
a normal
bro.
life thing anyways. You grow apart from people, but throw in all this, and it's just like, you know what really sucked the most was the only time that we would talk was about problems.
In 2021, I actually was dealing with severe financial issues because I paid $1 billion in medical bills. I have insane family expenses, taxes, of course. I was getting rinsed left and right while making no income. And FaZe knew that. And they wanted to give me a lump sum of like, what, $500K that they owed me. And they said, but sign an NDA, we're not paying it. I called my mom. I said, Mom, you're trying to hold this money over my head. I know we need it. I'll sell my cars. I'll sell my jewelry. I'll sell whatever the fuck it takes. I'm not doing it. And I love my family because they were proud. Here, not bad.
A lump sum
I
of
do still feel the
500K to
human
sign an
emotions
NDA
of being sad, thinking if I think too deep of it, or look
I
back
feel like
at
that's why
old
he came
videos or
out
whatever,
just saying all
like,
that shit. They
it
tried
gives you
to
a really
hush
weird
him. They tried to
feeling
put him
in
on
my
hush mode for some
stomach.
bugs.
Okay, my bad. What were you saying?
He was not going.
I think we were just talking about.
Oh, the NDAs and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, my bad, because that time is so sensitive for me, bro. Like, because again, one thing I don't like is like, I'm the only one that didn't sign the NDA, and like, when they were trying to force me to get the money, and they knew everything I was going through. I don't know if Apex did too much, but Tommy and Banks kept saying, I don't see the problem, sign the NDA. What do you want us to do? And it just fucked me up, bro, because they did not see a singular issue with them holding money over my head and saying like, no, sign this NDA or we're not giving you shit.
Yeah, it's not the best, unfortunately, where we're at. Like, are we all ever gonna be in the same room again? no, probably not. Like, I was gonna say maybe when someone dies, but I think even if someone dies, like, I don't know if everybody, like, I can't tell you who would show up and who wouldn't.
Some of us will never be able to get it out of our system, bro,
when you say
because
something like that.
it's such a one-on-one experience. Like, I'll never get to be a kid again, right? So I'll never get to build my childhood dream as a kid and watch it come to fruition. I'll just never have that again.
You know, I have just a deep love genuinely for, like, FaZe. Everything to do with FaZe. All the people that were in it, all the people that supported it. It just sucks that most people are going to remember it for the nastiness that kind of happened. But, like, people that know, the people that experience that feeling that I'm talking about that I can't put into words, know. And, like, I just love connecting with people that have that same feel. And I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this are those people too. So, you know, I'll be on the internet watching and figuring out where to plug in, like I said. But yeah, nothing much to say, but thank you guys for having me on it. And, you know, shout out to everybody that supported FaZe at any point. I appreciate it.
Damn. Nah, that's crazy. Group ruined over some money.